Well, the sun disappeared. I don't know where the hell it went. So, I bought this in my local knife shop. There wasn't really any information on it. I believe it is just kind of like one of those knives that might be custom built. I don't believe I bought this in the section for the Texan custom makes knives. I'm not entirely sure. But this is the latest one. So, this one actually has a gut hook on it. If I remember, that's what they're called, or fish hook, a gut hook. It's one of the two. Which I've never really ever had a knife that had one of those on there. So I'm usually very picky when it comes to shit. I'm like, I've never had one of those, so I'll give that a look see. And it actually is, this is a cool little design on it. I am a little bit worried though that if I like go to stab like a stump or something, that I might get it stuck just because of that. I know, like, if I stab into it, it's probably just going to go, like, create an entry point, and then it's not going to get stuck on there, but I'm worried it might, especially if I have to saw it to try to get it out. But yeah, so first of all, I want to say it's kind of like a little bit of floral pattern on there, which that's what kind of first drew me to it. I was a little bit skeptical on it at first. That's right, these were over by the Damascus Steel Knives. But I want to say this. I don't know. There's something off with this one because it looks like it's got some markings on it. I don't know if that's rust or something. Might have been a used knife. I don't really care one way or the other. But it's actually not bad of a knife. It did have a fairly decent edge on it. It's not sharp enough to cut my hair. Not like I have much to begin with. Disrespectful. But it does have a little bit of sharpness to it. It's not like I'm just going to start hacking into my arm with it. That hurt like hell. But it does have a bit of I want to call this like a triangle point, little pyramid point. So you got the main blade here. Then it has the backside here, which is not sharpened, it's blunt. Then you have the main portion of the blade, which kind of creates like a little bit of a Triforce kind of deal, which is actually kind of cool. The blade itself is it's kind of comfortable actually. It does have 4 finger holes, or not holes, but loops right there to kind of put your hands around. And it actually does fit my hand fairly well. It's actually quite comfortable. The handle is, I want to say it's a little bit small. It's probably about the same kind of thickness as a few of my pocket knives. It does kind of taper just a tiny bit down here towards the pinky, but it doesn't really matter because the pinky doesn't really hang off, so it's not like I feel like my hand's about to fall off of it. There's nothing really in the way of grip-wise. It does have these little niches right there. That's really about it. You can't really feel them either. I mean, like when my fingertips are right up against it, I can feel it, but it's not really to a point where it's agonizingly annoying. It does actually fit fairly well, and I can still do my flips and stuff with it. And it is a full tang, goes right through there. The metal itself doesn't stick out or anything like that. I feel the curves there, but it doesn't. It's nothing that would aggravate. It doesn't feel like something is digging into my hand or anything like that. And it actually is. It is a nicely designed kind of knife. I don't know the style of the blade itself. It does kind of give me like a reminiscent of like a Bowie knife kind of deal. Like if you took off the little gut hook here and just kind of had it to right there, it does kind of look like a miniature Bowie knife. But it is a nice little thing. It doesn't have anything to prevent my hand from slipping. Of course, it does have the little loops there, but if I was really just trying to like get it in, stab it into like the tree or something like that, which I don't really know why I'd be trying to stab into a tree that hard, and my hand could slip. It does have this little bit of a dip right there, but it's not like that's really going to stop it. If my hand's really trying to slide, it will slide, especially if my hands are wet, sweaty, whatever. But the sheath itself, I'd probably say that's not the worst part about it. It's not bad. It's kind of like, it does look like leather. It's not bad. It's kind of like sewed together. And it doesn't really matter which way you put the knife in, because it goes in either way. And it doesn't really look like it shortens either way either. It's got your belt hoop, your belt loop here. It does have these, so I don't really know what these do. The lady at the place was telling me like you could hook this onto like your belt or something. What I saw that I could do is like kind of like whip it around and kind of use that to kind of secure it in place. It's not really going to do much because it'll still pull at it. It doesn't really tighten it or anything, unless I like maybe put it down to this next one. But that didn't really do anything either. And it's kind of like poorly put together. It doesn't really do much. When I first got it, I actually hooked it on to my belts, kind of like this, which it's kind of neat. But there is the tendency it might just slide out. There's nothing in there holding it in, which that's really just my biggest complaint on this thing, is that there's no hook. I'm not even worried about like somebody coming up behind me and trying to swipe it out of my my hand. I'm more worried about it, something, a tree or something like grabbing onto it or flicking it out, because there's nothing down there. There's no resistance. There are some knives and sheaths that have like a kind of like a certain mechanic to it, or it'll be like a tight enough fitting to where, yeah, you can still kind of pull it out, but you need to have like a little bit more, of a power trying to get it out. But that, nah. Nope. Yep, nope. Doesn't matter what I do. I could probably use my tongue and I'd still get the stupid thing out. It's not bad though. I mean, I work at a job where I deal with a lot of trees, and I had this at my side the whole time and not really grab onto it or nothing like that. So maybe I could be mistaken that something could grab it and tear it off, but that'd really be just my biggest worry. Because like I said, yeah, I could kind of flip this around, but that's not what it's used for, and not intentionally what it's supposed to be used for, because you can tell just how it, kind of irks around there. But it's not a bad little piece, for what I got for it. I think I spent like $40 on it, and it's not a bad little thing. I really just kind of want to know what you use these for. Like I don't recall hearing anything about it. I know that if I was going to sharpen that, I could just take me like a spiral file and kind of grind it right there. But it's fairly decent sharp right there. I was actually using this to cut vines that was off me, using the hook. I want to say I don't really recall what it's used for. If somebody knows, maybe they can say it down in the comments if you're a little bit more knowledgeable than I. But yeah, it's not too bad for what I got. $40 for a nice little deal right there. It's not too bad. Not bad. All I can say. Anyways, I'll see y'all next time. Bye-bye.